It's Tartan coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're here with our Elspeth campaign again. She's level 49. Always feels good to become who you always knew you could be. And we got an underway interception on Throt, which is absolutely wonderful. Of course, Throt's got a whole lot of problematic stuff, but what he doesn't have is the ability to stand in the face of this withering missile fire. So we'll have 50% missile resistance, but if we fly overhead, the other Trickster Shard is going to knock all of that down, and he'll just go down to like 10. And does he have... He doesn't have a caster to even lock me down. He has one unit of Chaos Dwarves, you know, there's some Giselles, Rallying Gunners, you know, there's a lot of stuff, but it won't be able to do anything. We have a massive range advantage. Warp Lightning Cannons have good range. They have like 430 range, but our souped-up Grand Cannon has like 500 or something, so... you know, if we get a favorable slope on the battlefield, it'll be nice. And if not, we can just stick our, oh yeah. Oh, this is going to be good. And I don't think they get any menaces below here. We will make sure to have sweepers in the back to protect the Yardy. Because if we just, you can just stick your tanks up in the front, right? And... their artillery, because tanks have the directional shield, and we have the ballistic plating, so like we can just not get hurt by the cannons. But I think that's a bad choice, just because, yeah, we don't want to like give them the fight like that when we can move our cannons up and be in range before too long. All right, so we'll just need to. And we can sort of get our guys as we go here. And as I do that, I'm like, I might be mauling our troops by putting them in front of our artillery. But it'll probably be fine. Sometimes you need a long time to set up. Here, I don't think we'll need a super long time to set up. Because, of course, on a map where they can't flank you, and you have the tremendous advantage in power, well, it's laughing all the way to the bank. The Hellstorm's already opening up. The Hellstorm with 624 range? What? Oh, that's right. We finally upgraded the last of the things. Yeah, so now it has 600 range. So now we're going to be able to drop Purple Suns from a hilariously far distance. This army now went from being like just hilariously overpowered to now being just quite hysterically too strong for anyone to deal with. Because 600 range is, I mean, we're going to be able to shell them just tremendously. This is my new favorite thing. All right, so good news. The menace below did happen, but better news, it happened, trying to be around here somewhere. And yeah, Ironsides. Ironsides. Because, again, if they, you know, they don't have, like, the monsters or whatever to get around. And because of that, we're going to be able to do anything we want. Including shoot them with the Hellstorm rocket battery. Because we've got, you know, I mean, for practical intents and purposes, infinite ammo. We have 2 sources of restock. Elspeth gets torched by a Warp Lightning Cannon. We'll probably be able to dodge this other one. And we're not, like, wearing out their ammunition. You could do that, but we're not doing that. We're just trying to get them to go forward. And they will. Alright, so this Hellstorm is not in a good spot. It'll be fine. It's just not in a good spot. None of our artillery is actually in a good spot. None of our troops are in a good spot here. We can reposition them there. The Hellstorm, that reminds me, though, we got the ability where it can actually run now, so getting it to a good spot is feasible. These Clan Rats try to get on Lupio. That's not going to be very happy for them. They get absolutely mauled by the Ironside fire. Beautiful stuff. Elspeth takes some free hits because we weren't paying attention, but oh yeah, look. This is This is the actual dream of man. Oh no. Okay, I'm like, they can't shoot me. They missed. The shots were missing. Alright. So our artillery is just opening up, and this is not a waste of time. This is a good spending of time. This is a we're very clever of time. Because we can just drop this on them and it'll probably wreck them. I'm like, no, we need to hold off for a second until the ability cast. There we go. And now a breath on Throt. We want to wait to be overhead so that we make sure that our ward save hex is on him. You know, we don't want all of those resistances to be there. And indeed, right now, we see that he is down to nothing. Thank you so much, Yo Cheese Pizza Guy. I am the worst. I appreciate you telling me. Yeah, I run the game in a lower aspect ratio because running it at 4K is actually... Oh no, not my long rifles. We gotta get back. Because if you get in close, the units are quite detailed. Oh no, we're being shot. Alright, that's enough looking. To war! Of course, our counterfire for their artillery is going very well. But these poison wind globes we don't want to get in, so we're going to be taking a couple more hits here and running the... Oh, there we go. There's the good stuff. The Hellstorm is online now, and we're going to see things just melt. Oh no, these dimmies get murdered. Oh, the globes. Oh man, and the Giselles. Anyway, you see there that even now I am a terrible player. Oh goodness gracious. All right, time to focus up. We can still lose this fight. No, I don't think we can lose, but we could definitely lose something I don't want to lose on the field. Oh man, Throt is going ham. How are we gonna stop him? He can't keep getting away with it. We need to get the Hellblasters onto Throt. We need to get these catapults offline. That's probably not like the best way to do it, but I bet it'll work. And we're gonna get her over there on Throt. Man, oh dude, why am I so bad at this game? We just stand letting our guys get shelled by artillery. Hey, at least our guns are online-ish. We just need to get these knights from on top of the guns so they can get on Throt. At least we've got more guys to get eaten by Throt. And again, as soon as anybody... Yeah, there we go. Now we see the power of the Empire. He's trying to get in. There's no way. There's no way. Yeah, there we go. Shaken, stirred, broken, executed. Get him, Theodore. The execution coming in. And with that, the Skaven lines will be very quick to be fleeing. I said very quick to be fleeing. They won't be. Alright, we need to pop this ward save to try to save people. Man, this is... You know, I didn't put enough respect on the weapon teams. Say how do the battles work? There's 24 factions. And, yeah, you have armies that you build on the campaign map. So we're fighting the rat people here. So these guys were on these huge magical artillery pieces, and then they had like some catapults over here, and I'm the Empire, so I'm one specific person in the Empire. We've got like literal tanks with like, you know, cannons on the front. We've got like field guns. You know, but so we build an army, and then we move around the campaign map, and then one thing leads to another, and we get in fights with our enemies. And it looks like we get really, really beat up there. It's alright. You know, Throt is a very dangerous guy, and this army wasn't like... we should have been more careful. That's why people... If you've heard me say before that people don't like fighting Skaven, that's why. Because, like, even just, like, a sort of medium elite Skaven army can really mess you up. Yellow Cheese Pizza Guy, you are going to be so excited whenever I tell you about this unit. And hi, Natasha. Good morning. So there's a faction called the Vampire Coast. They are pirates. They are pirates that are also vampires. And they float around on the seas and get into adventures and stuff. They have a unit called a Bloated Corpse. And just like the name says, it's like a big ol' thing that was like bloated from being in the water and stuff. And then it just runs up and explodes, and it's amazing. Alright, unfortunately... Alright, so we get a bunch of really good items, actually. I was going to say unfortunately, but I'm like, no, I think we can go to fortunately. Alright, we need to get this army in better shape. How to do it? By getting these Elector Count troops. By building a Gardens of Moor here. And then, so yeah, so, you know, we build various stuff, so we wouldn't be able to get access to that unit on this faction, probably, but... because there's some factions that, like, will be willing to make friends with you, and some that won't, and it just sort of depends. Anyway, we've got all this land up here, and can we give it to the Empire real quick and just hold on to the thing in the middle? Yes, we can. And get some money, and get some money. Because again, these garrisons will at least go to full power, and we won't get a bunch of notifications about losing our land. This garrison just got beat up, but I think with Franz around, and these were the armies that we just beat, that's right, so we can... that we just beat in auto-resolve. If we just go here, then we'll be able to push him out. Yeah, there we go. And this would be funny. You know, why not? Why not do a little battle with where we vastly overmatch the foe? It'll be funny. And Gotrek can fight Gorich, that'll be good. Natasha, you say if he basically any goblin that uses bombs fantasies, yeah, for sure. No, but the vampire pirates, they are great fun. We might play one of their campaigns next. I'm not good with, like, because they use gunpowder and cannons and stuff, but they also have big scary monsters, like big crabs and then giant crabs, crab people, So here we do have the Sunmaker. This is a artillery piece. It's like the Hellstorm, but it like has less ammo and shoots more of it at a time. It's just gonna rain hilariously down on the Skaven. And then we've got our mortars that can't hurt our own troops. And I don't think they have the ability to summon here. I didn't see it, but we'll just do this anyway. And then Gotrek and Felix will be able to go up into the front with some support. So this dude is level 42? Wow. Well, he's lived a long time. He's not going to live through this. And here you see the beauty of the Empire. Watch as an inferior Skaven force gets absolutely dunked on. Oh, the carnage. The Grey Seal is ringing his bell. He is trying to inspire everybody. He's like, no, don't run. Don't pay attention to the evidence of your eyes and ears above you. But anyway, while the vampire coast, as they're called, the vampirates have the cool artillery, there's nothing that's much cooler than this. Alright, we need to get these guys here. Ulrika shooting there. We're probably going to stop with the arty pretty soon. And Gotrek wants to get it. Get on him. And this time, unlike the last time we were fighting against this Grey Seer guy, you know, we're going to have our guys on the ground supported by our troops. It may not be enough. But, oh man, Felix gets chunked by Gorich. But, importantly, I kept shooting my artillery at my own guys, so that's why my support troops are gone. I'm the worst. So this artillery is fine. That artillery can't hurt me. Man, this Grey Seer on the bell is being such a champion. What? I'm gonna get that tank on him, though. Like, we have all these dudes shooting at him. What is his resistances? He has 40% missile resist. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, it looks like Felix gets beat up. It looks like... Man, Gorich is just trucking on Gotrek, but Gotrek can't run. It looks like Gotrek might get taken out here. No, we'll probably be fine now. After all, the cavalry are coming in. So anyway, we'll just wait here, you know. So this is what Gorich looks like when he fights. Gorich is, you know, a big monstrosity of Clan Moulder. And Gotrek is just the biggest and baddest and dwarfiest slayer ever. Did we get him? Yeah! Hit him again, Gotrek! Hit him with your axe! Yeah! Victory is ours! Anyway, so a lot of these losses came from getting hit with my own artillery. That's okay. It's not great. Look, no one's gonna, like, think I'm a good person because of it. But, it's fun. And actually, I think Gotrek has, like, a lot of levels to distribute, and we should probably do that. The Sunmaker gets 211 kills. Only some of them were my own guys. LG Speeds Guy, you say you're going to try to make stupid units. The great thing about Warhammer is that if it's a unit that could fit into this setting and it's silly, it might exist. Natasha, you were talking about the goblins. I got distracted by the battle. So the orcs have a unit called the Goblin Rock Lobber. No, that's not the unit I'm talking about. It's called the Doom Diver Catapult. The Rock Lobber is a different thing. So the Doom Diver Catapult, they put goblins into a catapult, like living goblins with, like, wings on them, like a glider, and then they shoot them up into the air, and then they dive down, and that's the missile attack for their artillery. And it's quite good, too. It's got good, you know, heat-seeking on it. Alright, do we flesh out this army here, and if so, with what? We can get a great cannon. This army's already very artillery heavy, but these Sutzen's guns, I don't really know if I believe in them. They seem like they're a better idea in theory than they are in practice for me. Kind of want to get a couple of giants and sit them next to Gotrek and Felix. That'd be funny. But if we hit this guy... then this army won't be able to reinforce. But are we able to beat this army? We will be if we just make this army a little better. So we can just grab silver bullets and the defenders and... And we just need to go here and raise Hell Pit right now? Yeah. And I think just burning it all the way down is better than... I don't know, that's a lot of money. Yeah, we're gonna sack it, then take it with our movement range here still, or rather, we could leave, but we're not going to. We need to get it, and we can just give it away to the Empire. You know, I don't think. Well, 2% upkeep reduction for dimmies is like okay, but you know, we'd have to go. Like rain nails on their enemies at rapid speed, but they're really slow. There are enemies that, you know, do like an AoE damage around them. There are magic spells that are basically literally a rain of nails coming down from the sky in the School of Metal, because of course there are metal wizards. Alright, so we're about to be in for it. Wulfric the Wanderer is this fellow here, and oh, he's at war with the rats! I thought he was about to try to bushwhack me. I think he's actually just going to fight the rats. That's alright. It's not great. We're going to have to fight him soon. It is okay because he's on a big mammoth, and mammoths are easy to shoot. Alright, we are just going to chill here. Yeah, we'll... I don't think anybody can even press a battle against us right now. Archie is right here. Archie's army is super scary. It is really, really, really scary. Oh man, I don't want to fight it. At least we're not at war right now. That's a brutal army. Gasman just slows enemies down while damaging them over time. Yep, I could show you a big old demon in Nurgle. Of course, they also hit people. No, there's such amazing things to be found in this game. But I'm liking your ideas. The great thing about Warhammer is it's not constrained by what other game systems would be, like good taste or whether or not it makes sense. Like in Warhammer, it's enough that it's cool, and they'll let anything be in the game if it's cool. Alright, so we get all of our ballistics things, so that's going to really pump up the army for the range and all of that. I think... Yeah, gotcha. Oh yeah, so we can take the Skaven Slayer, and ambush defense is good, slippery is good. We'll take armor against chaos. Take movement range. This is just like a lot of these are just generically very good. Fizz resist, yeah, like Gottrik's whole like personal line is just excellent. And you know, like Felix's personal line is good, but Gottrik's is really quite wonderful. We'll get, you know, Pendulum. You know, like Pit of Shades we could theoretically use. I think with Ulrika that was actually a mistake, though. We probably just want to go like all... Well, no, she's in this army without a wizard, so yeah, Pendulum and Pit is good. Well, anyway, I'm just talking now. Those are the names of spells that she has access to. I think... Yeah, we'll grab a Sigmar's Sons from Unbreakable, these guys for a good thing on the flank there, and... And now we'll definitely be able to beat up on him. We've got a big war chest, so we'll be able to hold on for a bit. I mean, we could just auto it, but, you know, this will be more fun. The thing I say before bad things happen to me. No, this battle should be much easier than the other one as far as a bunch of damage getting sunk onto my guys. Also, I forgot to drink the potion of healing last fight. Pretty bad. Gotrek will eventually get, like, native regen. He just doesn't have it yet. This won't be too tricky, of course, because, again, we do have preposterous artillery advantage. We just need to remember to stop shooting them at the appropriate time. You're awarded no points for guessing that I probably won't remember that. Checks barrels of gas that damage the enemy as long as they're in the cloud and cisburning classes. This actually, so they're not in this army, but the Skaven, you know, these guys have like machine guns. These are Rattling gunners, but they have these guys called Death Globe Bombardiers, and they have like grenades full of poisonous gases that make the thing that they hit more vulnerable. Exactly, and the gas does a huge amount of damage. But that's like a missile weapon that does the effect. But yeah, that's you got good ideas. That's what I love about Warhammer is, like, it's just so over the top. It's like joyful, where it's like if somebody else was like, maybe that doesn't make sense. They're like, no, we'll give it to the faction of rats that's really unhinged, and that'll make it okay. We'll make it make sense. So Godric's gonna chug the potion of healing at the beginning of the fight. Yeah, okay. This Blight Wizard Lord, this dude is like a level 1. The other dude is like a level 46, so it's a whole different dynamic. We just need to identify where the Rattling guns are and get the Sunmaker onto them. So the silver bullets are actually really wonderful. We might want them in our other army, but we're going to keep them in this army. Ulrika can finally run. Ulrika is a vampire, but she used to be, like, you know, not one. She and Felix have this sort of torrid love affair thing going on, and that's why she shows up in a couple of the books, and that's why, you know, you get the option to not get rid of her, basically, is because we know narratively that she's a good vampire, you know. She's not like all those other vampires. And we get zapped by a warp lightning for like half of our HP. Skaven magic, that's the other reason why people hate fighting Skaven. And Gotrek is just gonna charge this hell pit. Oh no, Ulrika, run, girl, run! The good news about these rat ogres is we're going to be able to crumble them, I think. The bad news is I've already forgotten that I was supposed to not shoot my artillery into my own troops. I think we'll be okay here. We'll probably be okay. We need this. Yeah, I was like, if we get our lord and stuff fighting our enemies. Oh, man, the humanity. You know, this is why people auto-resolve against Skaven. No. This is all due to me being terrible. Name is Mustard Gassers. Yep. Yep, exactly. You would love the Skaven. They have a bunch of... So their whole thing, these people that we're fighting here, the rat people, the Skaven they're called, is that they like have all this technology, but it's always going wrong, it's always blowing up, and they just like don't mind that much. They're like, whatever, we'll just get some more. You know, like, they don't care if it blows up and beats all the people that are, and, like, kills all the people that are working on it and beats them into a pulp, and they're just like, hey, we'll just get some new guys. It's all fine. We learned a lot. But importantly, we knocked those armies out there. They're not going to be able to go back, and then we'll roll in here. And the Gardens of More thing will build next turn, and then we'll be able to recruit like some halberds to round out the thing and see about her army a little bit. But everything is going so good here. Because the thing about Godric and Felix is they're very strong, but they get much stronger by wise choices. And this item, so this is the Ranger's Quiver, which basically gives you ammo back forever. It's really good. If you're a character like Ulrika who can basically shoot all the time. On like a powder unit, you don't always get good value out of it. We're just going to burn some items together real quick. Try to get something good. So we can give her a knapsack. It'll be good to have one in the army, but... her item's, like, fine. It's pretty good. It's real good. I think I didn't use it last time for some reason. And near a Persive boss. They're not too OP, but they're pretty good. Well, there's plenty of stuff in this game that is too OP, so if you have an idea for that... oh, Timmy. Tell me about Timmy. Yeah, because we're plagued down there, but it's like we at least have somewhat of this upper flank here, but the problem is, well, it's not a problem, is that they're all up in here too, I think. These might have been burned by corn though. Yeah, so we've got very, very strong enemies, but 1k HP, make it 10k for this game, but yes. I'm with you. He wants a trade agreement. We might be declaring on him before too long. Although he has trade agreements with our friends. Because he has lands that belong in the Imperial Authority. Slows you and bleeds on hit. Rapid fires homing projectiles. And can launch slow and fire projectiles that go through people. I'm trying to think if any of the 200 characters do that. I think not all those things, yeah. But yeah, that'd be a good character. You could definitely make it happen with items, but having all of that native, I don't know if a single dude has all of it. But yeah, those are all good ideas, and they probably wouldn't be too overpowered. So one of the best abilities in the game we call a Mortis Engine. It's named after the first thing that had it. And the thing about a Mortis is that it does damage all around you to every single unit that's your enemy. So if you're in like a blob of 1,000 units, you do it to each one of the 1,000 like individual models. That attacks are really small and it's insanely fast hazard outsides. Well, then he would fit right in this game. Alright, so we want to swing up to the right here. We're going to give Hell Pit away. Yeah, because we're just going to leave the right side to that chaotic group right now and try to push out here. And then we'll loop back down. Or no, we can telly into Griffin Wood because we've got the garden there, and then we'll move up to Nagenhof, and that's a much better move. Yes, that's a much better move. Good job, me remembering my plan from yesterday, probably. Right, so Wulfric's now at Castle Alexandrinov, but that's not Imperial Authority, but it's still not good. They're Norskins, they're no friends of any man. Yeah, we're just going to take the, when you're in this stance, it's harder to ambush you. Skaven can ambush you where they can sort of like start right beside your army, and it's very annoying. We're going to take these ambush defense chances too, and then round it out with Missile resist. We don't take the spell resist. I don't think it'll matter. If I die from spell damage eventually, then, you know, what are you going to do? And this dude has like 1,000,000 skill points to do. Alright, now all his skills are used, and we can, you know, that actually might have been good to have the whole time. Alright, good stuff. Now all those heroes are at max level, just as planned. And at the armory, we're going to get double the damage of vortex rockets or iron resolve for the iron side. So iron resolve means they're not going to be able to die. And can do the duplicate. Sounds like the changeling. Now, there is a character that can make duplicates of himself to confuse the enemies. So, Iron Resolve or double damage on the Amethyst Rocket. I think the double damage is better. Because ideally, our Iron Sides won't even get guys on top of them anyway. Laughs, and I'm not very good. Alright, so this army, what does it need? We need to get rid of Bruckner, probably. Although his resistance to attrition is good. Because if we drop Bruckner and the Demis and just take normal Knights of the Black Rose for one of the Demi replacements, we'll have one more slot for, like, infantry. And then, or we could get, like, an Outrider, an Amethyst Outrider once we get them up, because I think they could be really interesting. I need to start making the army better. I'm always deploying the tanks together, which is dumb. We need them on the wings where they can anchor the line. And I think that's another reason why things are crumbling, because I just have them off, like, vanguarding most of the time. But this war is going well. And, you know, since it's 9:52 a.m., it's time to talk about the weather. It actually feels fine outside today. Oh, it's nice. Like, I went to work yesterday, and, like, I only had to change clothes, like, one time. I only had to wear 2 bandanas. Alright, so Caracas is pushing Toddy in front of him. Toddy has got a absolute crapsack army. But can we save him? I think so. So Wulfric is walking through our land, probably on the way to fight Moulder. Probably on the way to try to take this castle right here, which is big time not ideal. But Richter, we can just take this castle right now and for free. And for free. Yes, this is what this army was for. This will be good too, because we need to get the Master Engineer to level 20, because that's going to make him get the Immortality trait and the has a steam tank trait. And, well, that's going to be real good. Builds turrets everywhere and spams them, but can't attack. Yeah, with the can't attack, there are units that summon various things. But yeah, if it ever like makes that specific unit unable to attack, it probably doesn't exist. Most things in Warhammer still get to attack. All right, so we can't get across here to get these fights. Corporal Malratra. Corporal Malratra. What a Skaven name. I love this game. Their generator is pretty funny sometimes. Because that's just like a name. But we can't hit that army. We can hit this army, and that'll give us more movement speed because we've got the Nemesis Crown. So here, they've got 6 uses of the Menace below. I think I just want to auto this. We'll go to ambush to try to, you know, maybe get one of them to make a bad movement. We only have 65% chance, which is like, it's fine, you know, but it's not a great chance. And now this garrison has 20 units in it. Due to the Gardens of Moor and stuff. Okay, yeah, so that's actually really nice. Yeah, that's, you know, we're not good, so we wouldn't be able to make good use of it, but, you know, that's enough to dissuade an AI from just trying to roll up. And I can't believe it. For the first time in the history of ever, we're at a positive income. It's just because I think some of the armies are discounted at the moment, but we're at a positive income. All right, here we go. We're going to drop a lot of that money now, upgrading all of our gunnery school things. All right, so there we finally get our good stuff. We've already got our special buildings here, and we will take... Yeah, this will make all of the buildings make more money, and I guess we'll do that. So we're still not, like, broke. I don't think we need to make these walls on Nuln. I'm not sure how much it would even dissuade the enemies from being there. And we don't have any enemies that are super close. Speaking of enemies, though, we need to do a couple of these... I'm like, oh, I can't do an ambassador to... We'll do one to Bretonia. I was like, we can't do one to the elves. So this Nemesis Crown that Elspeth's got on her head, which makes her an absolute menace, also makes everybody that's not part of our faction hate us, because they are not us. Because even if both of these armies show up, the auto-resolve will definitely let us win. That's a lot of Rattling guns. I'd probably find some way to torch it, you know. But... Alright, so here... Yeah, we absolutely want to go up here and knock out Azazel. And two, now these rats are between Scylla and Charybdis. There is no place they can go where they'll be safe. So they try to run away. Very, very good rats. Very, very good indeed. And we get immigration. Alright, and here we just need... You gotta have 2 Knights of the Black Rose to sweep in the back. You just gotta... And then... You know, Spears with Shields would be good. Do I literally not even have access to them? I don't even have access to Spears with Shields. Anyway... I think we drop a couple of these suits and guns. I just, you know, we don't get value out of them, and you gotta have something in the front. And something behind. 2 handgunners is enough for me. You're supposed to run with like 8, but I'm bad. But oh no, what? Oh no. I didn't realize that was that turn. So she just walks out. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Normally you would be more careful. Normally you would be more careful than to just run in the middle of 3 enemy armies. I have already scouted these armies, so I know that we don't have to worry about them over much. That's Gorich there. No, that's a different guy that's just dressed like him. Chieftain Autoimmune right over. So here we've got a big fight against Skaven coming up. But we could just hit this tower. If we do, we get a siege battle. Yeah. They're actually like actual rats. Yeah, they do run away when they're weak. And they have low leadership. It's just... This Clan Moulder, they do like... It's called the Flesh Workshop. So they have like these big mutant rat ogres. And like they're doing all sorts of weird experiments. And then there's one who's like, they're all assassins. And there's one who's more like, we wear the armor. And then there's one who's like the weird plague guys. And there's one who has like a weapons workshop and has like literal nukes. Alright. I want to fight Azazel here. This is too many armies to let come back at us though. So we've got Lightning Strike. We can just start peeling them away. So Lightning Strike allows you to just fight one army at a time when you take the initiative. It can make it sort of trivial. I just didn't want to fight 3 armies there. Two will fight. Alright, which army is worse on the reinforcements? They're both about equally bad. Alright. And then the fort will be able to reinforce, and that'll be good. Unless they run away again. King Rats? No, they don't. They don't have a King Rat. That would be good, though. Alright, so they keep running away. We do get movement speed back when we win a battle, which is good, because we've wasted a lot doing this. Alright, so they're going to have 6 uses of the menace below. Can I defend against it? No, because, like, this battle is... It'll be fine. It's a one-on-one army, and I have the higher quality army. By a huge margin. A lot of their stuff is just, like, trash units with slings that if they hit you, do 9 missile damage, you know? 9? So if the whole unit hits you, they could do, like, 1,000, but they won't. You explain 4 types of turret ideas? Sure. They do have turrets like in the game, but they're like for siege defense, you know. So they're tied to a spot, and then you can sort of tower defense boost them. All right, so it's like, you know what? Why don't we have like Bruckner and the Demis in the back to screen for the summons? They have Marauder Horsemen with them and Chaos Warriors, I think. Okay, yeah, so this is a pretty interesting little mixed army. Yeah, we can anchor the wings with tanks like so. And just have like a spear. And then the main brick. Do that. No, we don't want to do that. We want the amethyst where it's not going to be shooting over our guys so much. This will be our first game with the amethyst with its full potential, its final form unlocked. Rattling guns moving through the trees, but again, like, the thing about the Hellstorm is now it's got crazy range, and now I think the Plague Claw catapults are about to shoot at me, I hope? Yeah, alright, so we're gonna get them to shoot at my lord instead of at all of my guys, and then we're going to, oh, the purple sun is dropping the heat on them. So our artillery now shoots, instead of missiles, little magic black holes. Watch as they fall. Anyway, so now the artillery's taken care of. And now it's time to drop a real black hole on them. Elspeth Bond black hole strikes again. So if I was better, could probably beat this whole army with just Elspeth. She's not even that resistance to damage. I mean, she's a dragon, you know, so I guess she's got something going on. The clan rats went up to the front somehow, and not the back. Good, good. And the hilarious amount of magic just comes in. So here you see the power, the fury, the wind of death, which is, of course, the name of the winds of magic that Elspeth is the champion of. There may be no greater deathcaster in all of the old world than Elspeth von Draken. And she's about to feast on this bell. Drop it, girl. Bam! Hit him in the back. The Nemesis Crown paying off so good. We're just draining everybody around us. Gonna have another black hole real soon. And that guy got in range of somebody. Oh, it was the Hellblaster volley gun. The Hellblaster volley gun does 1.7 thousand. That's per gun. There's 4 of them. So they do, you know, and it's like armor piercing, and yeah, and they can run now, so that's good. Elspeth is just feasting. The black holes are coming in. The rattling guns are finally shooting a little bit, and now they immediately run away. They're as scared of us as we are of them. These clan rats coming in, we actually... Yeah, because what you want to make sure is that your Hellstorm isn't going to see somewhere that they summon in guys and then get rid of them for you. You know, you got to make sure that they don't try to help you too much. We pop the buffs. We drop another. No, it's excessive. When you pop the Dark Walker, it does give you Strider, which lets you move through trees and stuff better. Because normally a large unit, when flying in and around a forest, you know, they have to dodge the things. It's actually really tricky for a large unit to do it. Like right now, you see him like having to like go around some things and getting stuck a little bit here and there. That's because he's a large unit. It's a really big headache to fight in trees for big stuff. And they're getting army lost. Anyway, we take like way more damage on Elspeth than would be necessary, but it's fine. She regenerates. And regenerating characters do regenerate like after the battle is done. So like right here, we can just chill, let our gunnery troops feast on, you know, and actually, you know, it's not bad because you get your schematics. And she just heals up. And, you know, when you turn it on fast forward, you know, and then you can end the battle on any regenerating character as if you'd healed up basically all the way and didn't lose anything, which, of course, for a flying menace like Elspeth, just means that she can keep getting away with it forever. She probably won't generate up to absolutely full here. So you have 3 FPS tower concepts. One's rapid fire, but small damage. It turns slowly. Then you've got a big shot, like a railgun type thing. And then a rocket. And then like a piercing laser ring thing. Fun. I've played a couple tower defense games in my time. I don't remember the names of any of them exactly. Back in, it must have been like 2013, 2012, 2013. Anyway, the year doesn't matter. Why do I always try to specify? I was playing this one that was Three Kingdoms, China based. And that was the tower defense, and you got your various generals and tried to set them up against the encroaching enemies, and I love that because I love all that era of stuff. So here we take the schematics because we're gonna heal up plenty anyway, and we are very schematic hungry. That's how we get our special awesome units, and it's also how. Can I make contact here? Yeah, baby, we can. Good stuff. So, the Nemesis Crown also gives us bonus movement after we win a fight. 15% movement range. And that was just enough to get us into this fight, too. Which, again, same old problem. 6 clan rats. Bunch of stuff. Actually, it'll be probably identical to the last one. We'll just auto it. Here, we will want to replenish the troops because they're a little beat up here. And so now, another boost. The Empire will love us a lot, and everybody else will not like us. We will have to pay more for our army, and, oh man, negative 20 replenishment rate for my casualties? I didn't realize. That's pretty rough. Do I get rid of it, though? Oh, me. What a terrible dilemma. I think we probably put it away because I need my army to be able to be replenished. I mean, the alternative is just saying, no, we're fine, don't worry about it, adapt. Strength or weakness? We'll keep it. Alright, we still have some replenishment left over because we have such big numbers. What's the next one? The next one will give us negative 30% casualty replenishment. That's awful. But it'll give us... Oh, man. Oh, and Chaos Corruption? Wait, you're telling me this thing... You're telling me this thing is a Chaos artifact? Well, now I'll have to put it down. Anyway... In a little bit. I mean, after all, why shouldn't we use its power a little longer? It's precious to me. Heyo, and we get a Rune Fang, which is like a thing for an electric count. Which we will definitely give this guy. It'll give him magical attacks, melee attack, weapon strength, and this Rune Fang ability that'll, let him do good damage. So he'll be, like, wearing his sword on the tank when he gets it. And this would be like in a first-person shooter and you would just have to run around getting your turrets. That would be very interesting. It might be... I love classes that use turrets and such, but it might be a little tricky to balance, as all things are. Alright, so... Richard Bruckert. is getting things together. I think we just dropped the Suitsen's guns here. We have big schematic numbers. But yeah, we want to get this ability because that's going to give us more wins for the fight as it goes on. Man. Alright, probably an Ironside? Yeah, no, a long rifle. A Hochland long rifle is what goes best here. This faction's so good. It's so amazing that you, like, get access to all of this. No, you know, a Grand Cannon, that would do it. That would be the thing. Because we need that monstrous impact. You know, we probably need a long rifle too, but where to get it from? You just, like, have a whole faction of turret classes. They want me to pay them for a non-aggression pact? I don't know who you think you are, buddy. Of course, everybody's like real mad at Elspeth because she's got this Chaos Crown on her head and she can't seem to understand there's anything wrong with it. In my defense, it didn't say I was getting Chaos corrupted. How was I to know that the shiny artifact of power giving me, you know, everything I ever wanted was bad? Alright, so this is awesome. We're going to be able to pop up here with this army. Azazel will have to retreat. Yeah, baby. There we go. And then Elspeth can come in, and she'll be able to hit him here. His army got really, really trucked by somebody. And now we're going to pick up the change right off of the ground. And importantly, we now get Azazel's trait, so more leadership and weapon strength. That is fine, you know, it's fine. But, importantly, he's not going to be home to defend his keep. And this is their last land, so we're going to be able to get rid of Azazel. His faction never gets, like, super scary, it doesn't seem. But he can be a real thorn in your side. But let's go ahead and do a siege here. It's going to be real cheesy, because this is going to be a siege with like a souped up Nemesis Crown, which is a little funnier than things had been. And of course we'll have, you know, basically the final iteration of the army. No, not really. It could be slightly better. It's real good though. So they will have like level 5 walls with the various Scara things. So here, it's like we need to be somewhere where we can shoot the towers down safely. Where will it be? Here? We'll just do a frontal assault. Yeah. Alright. Don't need to stand on ceremony too much, because these chokers are in for such a bad time. And we can always mess around with our, targeting later. Because this can't go onto walls, I think. Yeah, but what it can do is any other thing. Like, I think if I just float over them... No, maybe I have to be in melee for my Mortis, but... These are Chaos Warriors Halberds. These are Marauders of Slanesh. We got Warrior Halberds. But we already see that... that the Purple Sun Artillery is totally fine in this context. It's like throwing the suns over the side. And we're probably going to want to get rid of, like, this tower, too, for the approach. But this is, you know, incredibly sporting. But the thing is, though, is that Hellblasters can run now, so, you know, that's good. Because plenty of artillery units can't run. And they're, you know, in disarray here, so what better to do than charge in? This is another Nemesis ability. It's all conspiring to make me big and scary and them pathetic weaklings, and frankly, I love it. This is what it looks like when you don't care what happens and you're on a dragon. We're fighting some Chaos Trolls. Chaos Trolls are actually kind of punchy. Not bad, but we are the Queen. Darker and more terrible than anybody has ever seen in Warhammer. She's got a little skull hourglass on her throne on the back of the dragon. Dragon's covered in blood. There'll be more to feast on. Don't you worry, buddy. Don't you worry none. We're going to hit this huge breath onto this dude, just absolutely murking the trolls, the destruction, the terror. Hellblasters lose a couple of guns somehow? These are chosen. Like, this is not a thing you do. You don't go in to chosen by yourself, but we can. Because we aren't, like, beholden to the normal rules of how a person behaves in this game anymore. This is what the Nemesis Crown does. It lets you do this. I mean, no, we probably could have done this even without it, but this is much better because of the crown. This thing's got 200 kills already. Oh, man. You know, we could... So anyway, this used to be a strategy game. And now it is a hero simulator. Mwahaha. Every campaign in the game is built around discovering how you can do this. No, most of the time you can't get away with this. Some people don't even have a dragon. They can't fly at all. Because Elspeth hasn't even lost her barrier. She's got 1,100 hit points, regenerates. And it's just putting the most wonderful hurt on. Anyway, so Elspeth can now win entire garrison fights by herself. She probably could before this, too. Because she doesn't have, like, the biggest stats, but she's got really good abilities. And now, with the various abilities we get from the Nemesis Crown, it just sort of, well... It just sort of looks like this. Because she's not even that good at making connecting hits here, but she doesn't need to be. But yes, this is what optimal play looks like. No, it's probably not that optimal. I could probably have guys on the walls by now. But, you know, this is how to solo a whole garrison with a unit of artillery to knock down the towers, even though we didn't need that. So I guess, yeah, at this point, we literally wouldn't need Elspeth to have anyone in her army. The thing is, though, is the more the Nemesis Crown feasts, the more it desires, right? So you have to get into fights like every 2 fights or you lose it. And if I had to fight like a better army, one with like really big armor-piercing characters, you know, maybe we wouldn't be able to do this. But this is pretty funny stuff. Anyway, so this is a Chaos Garrison. Probably the strongest garrison in the game. These are the best fighters that there are here in the Chaos Garrison. And we are just literally running in the middle of them. And she's only got 400 kills with 10,000 values. What happened to the battery? Oh, they ran out of ammo. Well, fortunately... And then she absolutely trucks this guy. But anyway, you know, this is, often this is where you just say, alright, how far am I from figuring out how to win? You know, where's the end game of the campaign? Because what we just did was, as they say, put on a clinic. Elspeth feasted. This thing got 500 kills. You know, the rest of the army bravely sat outside. Good stuff. She's a lady. Of course, you can't always count on getting the Nemesis Crown and on being able to leverage it well, and it causes you, you know, problems with things, but our dwarf allies really, really like us, so I think they'll put up with the crown for a little while. And after all, if you use the power to leverage it into making massive, massive advances, then probably somebody else getting mad at you will be okay. We're going to sack this for 34k. Feels good. And destroy the faction of the Ecstatic Legions. Good, good. And we are just absolutely loading up France with all of this. Because, hey, you know, why wouldn't we? Alright, Angren's still broed out. Yeah, they're, yeah, they're at negative. They're at 236. Even all of the junk we've been pulling isn't enough to make them, like, mad about us. But alright, there we go. There we have it. Nuln is finally making some money. We're getting our level 5 things all across the board. And Richter Bruckhardt is going to try to get home. Probably he'll be fine. Yes, did I stop reading the chat? I didn't stop reading it. I did stop reading it out loud. And then if I'm in a battle, then I'm probably not going to read the chat out loud. But yes. Alright, I have got to end this now, unfortunately. Man, Elspeth, what a champion. You know, we've already achieved the short victory. What's left for the long? We just need to control our lands or have alliances with the ones who have them. You know, we could declare a moral victory without having these alliances, but the thing is that if we just dropped this stupid Nemesis Crown, we'd probably be okay. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. But yeah, LG's Peace Guy. Those are good ideas for a tower defense game. Absolutely. I think those are interesting. I don't know if you design games or you just brainstorm stuff, but that does sound like it would be an interesting sort of thing. I like the idea of like slowly enveloping and like just needing to like sort of run away and protect yourself and having like the game, you know, move the power away for you. I think that's a really interesting idea. So I always like that sort of thing in and like Heroes of the Storm, which is like a MOBA, sort of like League of Legends but bad with Blizzard characters, there were a couple that could like throw turrets down, and I always really loved that. Like I would basically do anything to be a character that can throw a turret down or do a little summon, or like summons and turrets and stuff like that. I really love. Like in Borderlands 2, one of my favorite games, I used to play the guy that threw the turret all the time, the commando. And then there was a girl that like summoned a robot, and she became my favorite one instead. But anyway, that's all I've got for you today. I got to get to work. I wish I didn't. I wish I could stay here and talk and play video games. I very, very sincerely wish that. Unfortunately, it is not to be. So imagine seeing the builders slowly inching towards your points. When you add offensive characters, they just build a fortress around you. Yes, that's very Warhammer as well. They're like, there's a huge army outside. We're going to build a really, really good gate and a really, really good wall. We're dwarves. But anyway, bye, Natasha. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, Yellow Cheese Pizza Guy. A pleasure seeing you. And anyway, that was good stuff. We might, we'll probably play a bit more Elspeth. I'm absolutely interested in just like starting another campaign of hers, but I think we'll try to keep the variety going. Vampire Pirates, maybe we'll do them. They've got a lot of personality, and that could be fun. But anyway, I'll be back in 12 hours, maybe. I mean, maybe 5, but probably 12. And maybe I'll see you guys then. I hope you have a good day. I'm gonna try my best to have one. But anyway, that's all I've got for you.